Welcome back to Forum Focus. I'm Wyatt Sharpe. We are continuing our conversation on Trump's geopolitical impact. And joining us to discuss it all is Steve Laffey, someone who knows Trump well because he ran against him in the 2024 presidential primary. He's also the former mayor of Cranston, Rhode Island. Steve, very good to have you with us.
Great to be with you, Wyatt. Great show. And I am eager to tell you what is all wrong about the world with Donald Trump.
So, Steve, I know you're a finance guy. I want to ask you about some of these tariffs and some of the other just generic geopolitical comments he's been making recently. Does some of the comments that he's making about, again, things like tariffs make economic sense? A lot of people, both in Canada, the United States, economists, are saying that it would increase the cost of living for the average American family by more than $900. Are you in support of his comments on these tariffs?
Only the tariffs on communist China that I've talked about publicly since 2005, because they're dumping steel. They're building up a military to destroy America as a stated goal. But with Canada specifically, it is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. First of all, Donald Trump doesn't have a consistent policy about this. He signed the new NAFTA as the last time he was president. Now he's going after our greatest ally and our own companies because he tries 25% tariffs on everything. Then he backs off even though nothing happened. But the ones on steel and aluminum make no sense at all because, folks, America is the world superpower. Canada is an independent country and our closest ally, along with the UK, Japan, Australia. We have to figure out where all the steel, the aluminum, things we need are made strategically. And if we need some more in America, let's get it. But we're always going to be able to get aluminum from our friends in Canada. This is dumb. Not only will it increase costs to consumers in America, but I only hope that Canada figures out how to stop Donald Trump, because Justin Trudeau did not figure it out by visiting him and kowtowed to him. It cost him his job, basically, right? What you need to do with Donald Trump is ignore him and double down on everything he does. So the people in Canada running the country need to say tomorrow morning, 50% tariffs on everything exiting our country to America, and say nothing more. Because guess what? In 3 months, there won't be any cars in America to buy.
And those are and those are certainly some strong comments that you're making. And he has a lot of his own reasoning for doing this. I mean, he's saying it's because of fentanyl, because of the amount that's coming into the United States. If you talk to Canadian officials, they always now are citing the various statistics. They're talking about how it's more than 40,000 pounds coming in to the United States from the Mexican border, and it's only 50 pounds coming in from the Canadian border. That's only what's been reported. Of course, there is likely a lot more. But is there any way from your perspective that more Republicans will start to turn and speak out against him, specifically on tariffs? I mean, you hear a lot of people come, they say bad things about him, about his personality, about his character. But from an economic perspective, I talked to one Republican congressman just a little while ago who said that he is thinking a lot of Republican Congress people within the House of Representatives will start to speak out against him because they're uncomfortable with the direction it will take the country.
I hope they do. He yields a lot of power over our country elects people every 2 years for the House of Representatives. Senators are more independent. So he put a lot of clout on people who are scared. But here's the thing. It's time to stop being scared, because a lot of this stuff is complete nonsense. It makes no sense. And I feel bad for our friends in Canada. We're allies. Does Trump have a point, by the way, at NATO, when everybody should be up to 3% and probably 5%, given the threats around the world? He does. But there's a way to do that. It's not talking about fentanyl, which is nearly non-existent coming in from Canada. By the way, what are you going to do about it anyway? Anybody ever take a look at the border going across? How would you stop it anyway, folks? Because if we don't stop the demand of people taking fentanyl in America, it's going to come in through somewhere. So a lot of this stuff is non-existent, but I do think that his back and forth, he will lose the impetus of power. And eventually, I think within 6 months, become the emperor with no clothes on these issues. And people will turn against him because they'll see that they're going to lose the majority of Republicans in the House next year anyway. And so they will turn on him, but not yet.
And Steve, very quickly, we only have about 20 seconds left here, but do you think it's time for the United States or Canada to look beyond each other as the biggest trading partner? Canada was the biggest trading partner with the U.S. for a long time. It just fell into second. Is that a sign that maybe we need to diversify the trade market?
I hope not. Canada's a great ally. You have wonderful oil and gas. I know we got a problem with the Quebec people with their farmers. We always have specific issues, but Canada and the U.S. are great allies. Our borders are shared. We have an ocean on each side. We have to stick together and overcome Trump on this.
All right. We do have to leave it there. Steve Laffey, thank you so much.
God bless. Great to be with you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.